Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. My name is Godwin Sunday. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcasts. And now to the news. President Bola Tinubu is expected to meet with the leadership of the Nigerian power generating companies as part of an emergency effort to address the 4 trillion naira debt threatening to cripple the country's electricity supply chain. The move follows a high-level meeting between the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, and Chairman of GENSCO in Abuja, amid mounting fears of a possible collapse of the national grid due to liquidity constraints in the sector, according to a statement from the Power Ministry. The government pledged immediate action to reduce the 4 trillion naira debt owed to power generating companies. The company said they were currently owed 2 trillion to power supplied in 2024 and 1.9 trillion in legacy debt. The National Assembly has urged the Supreme Court to dismiss the suit filed by 11 People's Democratic Party governors challenging the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State. The federal legislature, in its response, contended that the plaintiff's suit was procedurally flawed and lacked merit. The National Assembly said this in a plenary objection dated April 22nd, 2025. It argued that the court lacks the jurisdiction to entertain the suit and should award 1 billion naira in costs against the plaintiff for filing what it termed a frivolous and speculative suit. President Bola Tinubu had declared a state of emergency in Rivers State on March 18, 2025, suspending Governor Siminalayi Fubara, Deputy Governor Ngozi Odu, and all elected members of the State House of Assembly for an initial period of 6 months. A national agenda for Tinubu 2027 hosted a formal reception and strategic dinner as a gesture of appreciation to the APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje and members of the All Progressive National Working Committee, recognizing the pivotal roles and contributions. Sharon Ajay completes the story.
National Agenda for Tinubu 2027 is a strategic initiative launched by a support group with the primary objective of mobilizing support and promoting President Bola Tinubu's agenda in pursuit of a successful second-term re-election bid in 2027. APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje expressed gratitude for the initiative and commended President Tinubu for his progress so far. He urged more groups to rally behind the president, providing the necessary support for a successful second term in office.
That's why Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he deserves this connotation. He deserves this support. He deserves all what other associations are doing for him, and he deserves the national support.
Dr. Aliyu Ibrahim, chairman of the National Agenda for Tinubu 2027, commended APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje for his exemplary leadership and tireless dedication to the party. Dr. Ibrahim further emphasized the importance of leveraging collective expertise and experience to ensure a successful second term for President Tinubu.
I want to use this opportunity to thank the national leadership of this great party, led by His Excellency Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, for his energy, resilience, and commitment to deepening and strengthening the party for the challenges ahead.
The APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje was honored with an award by the coordinator of the African SMEs, recognizing his outstanding contributions and leadership. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
Borno State Governor Uba Sani has praised traditional leaders for their crucial role in maintaining peace and security in the state. Speaking at an event where 23 vehicles were distributed to traditional leaders held at the Sir Kashim Ibrahim House, Kaduna, the governor attributed the success of the state's non-kinetic approach to tackling insecurity to the collaboration between traditional leaders and security agencies. He emphasized that without the support of traditional leaders, the state would not have achieved security and stability. The Borno State Governor, Babangana Zulum, has announced plans to close down the Muna internally displaced persons IDP camp in Maiduguri within the next few weeks. The governor announced this during an early morning visit to the camp today. Zulum said that the decision to shut down the camp was in line with his administration's ongoing efforts to close all formal IDP camps within Maiduguri and its environs. The governor, however, noted that about 75% of its residents had already been resettled. He assured the remaining inhabitants that the government would provide support to improve their means of livelihood as they prepare to return to their communities. He noted that the closure of the camp would mark another significant step in the state's transition from emergency humanitarian response to long-term recovery and resettlement. The federal government is set to establish an anti-riot mobile police unit and construct 20 blocks of police barracks in Guri local government area of Jigawa State. This was revealed by Senator Abdul Almid Ahmed, who represents the Jigawa Northeast Senatorial District during the Jigawa State Government Citizens Engagement Program, JSGCEP, themed Gwanati Da Jama, held in Guri town, the headquarters of the local government area. Senator Ahmed further disclosed that the federal government, in collaboration with the Jigawa state government, would also construct a standard one-story police station in the area, which will be fully equipped with modern security facilities. The commandant of the National Defense College, NDC, Rear Admiral Olumuyiwa Olotu, says the effective synergy between the relevant stakeholders at both national and regional level is crucial for combating terrorism financing. He mentioned the effective synergy was crucial and critical due to the complexities of the geopolitical and economic, cultural and religious interconnectivity in West Africa, the Sahel region and the entire continent. Rear Admiral Olotu said this at the inauguration of the Countering and Financing of Terrorism and Regional Security course by the NDC Center for Strategic Research and Studies, CSRS. He also stated that research has shown that one of the most resilient enablers of terrorism is the complex and often clandestine network of financing mechanisms that fuel extremism recruitment, logistics, operations, and expansion. President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to reclaiming ungoverned areas, particularly forests, from terrorists and other criminal elements in the country. The president gave the assurance while addressing elders and leaders of Katsina State at the state dinner held at Government House. Tinubu said advanced surveillance and technology would be deployed to combat kidnapping, banditry, and terrorism. The All Progressive Congress APC Media Network has congratulated Chief Saviour Enyekere on his inauguration as chairman of the National Assembly Service Commission. The APC Media Network also commended the Senate President Godswill Obot Akpabio for facilitating the appointment, adding that Enyekere's appointment will positively impact the NAS Commission. In a statement by its Director General Otuekang Iniobong John, the group described Enyekere as a thoroughbred administrator and politician. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has denied reports claiming that it has fixed a date for the resumption of the continuous voters registration exercise, including related services such as transfer and replacement of lost permanent voters' cards. The Chief Press Secretary to the Commission, Chairman Rotimi Onyakami, in a statement via X says, the Commission has urged the public to disregard an anonymous message circulating online, which falsely claims that the CVR will resume on May the 27, 2025, and INEC has not yet announced any date for the resumption of these activities. The Chairman Guild of Editors, NGE, and Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, have called for the suspension of the implementation of the Cybercrimes Act. The Deputy Director of SERAP, Kolawole Oluwadare, noted that the Section 27 of the Cybercrime Act, despite its 2024 amendment, is a legal instrument routinely used against journalists, bloggers, activists, and even ordinary citizens for expressing their opinions online. At a press briefing in Lagos, the group alleged that the Cybercrime Act and other regulatory tools are being used to stifle dissent and criminalize journalism that criticizes the government. The federal government, the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, has deployed 1,152 teams across the 62 wards of its 6 area council to aggressively immunize children under the age of 5 against the polio virus. Mandate Secretary of the Health Services and Environment Secretariat, Dr. Adedolakbo Fosawe, disclosed these at the Palace of the Sarkin Jiwa Alhaji Idris Musa during the flag-off of the first round of National Immunization Plus Days in the nation's capital, Abuja. The team are set up to embark on house-to-house visits and visits to church and other special places, while the administration also deployed 154 fixed post teams across its health facilities. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has issued a call to the federal and state governments to remove vice chancellors, rectors, and provosts of tertiary institutions found culpable in the mismanagement of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund (NELFund) scheme. Speaking during a media parley in Abuja, the newly elected president of the association, Comrade Olushola Ladoja, condemned what he described as a systemic abuse of the student loan initiative. He warned that any head of institution involved in dubious dealings would face nationwide student-led resistance and calls for removal. This comes amid growing concerns over alleged fraudulent practices by some institutions, including doubling billing of tuition fees, withholding loan disbursement announcements, and conspiring with banks for personal gains. A Lagos State chapter of the All Progressive Congress, APC, has cleared 432 chairmanship aspirants to contest in the party's primary elections scheduled for May the 10th, 2025, ahead of the July 12th local government polls. The cleared aspirants emerged following a week-long screening exercise held at the party's state secretariat on Acme Road. Between April 29th and May 3rd, a total of 470 aspirants were screened, out of which 38 were either disqualified or voluntarily withdrew from the race. Among those who stepped down was Abdul Ganiyu Obasa, son of the Lagos State House of Assembly Speaker. Modasiru Obasa reportedly following the intervention of APC national leader and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle returns, ECOWAS EcoBank drive alternative energy solutions. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. And welcome back. In business, the World Bank says the poverty rate among Nigerians' rural population has reached an alarming 75.5%, highlighting deepening inequalities and widespread economic hardship across the country. The World Bank's latest April 2025 Poverty and Equity Brief for Nigeria indicates that rural dwellers are overwhelmingly overbearing the bonds of economic stagnation, inflation and structural challenges that have characterized the country's growth trajectory in recent years. The data are derived from Nigerians' most recent nationally representative survey shows that while 41.3% of the urban population lives below the poverty line, the figure for rural Nigerian is almost double. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, in collaboration with EcoBank Nigeria and the World Bank, have trained more than 100 entrepreneurs in Nigeria through a specialized program focused on small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, in the off-grid photovoltaic solar energy sector. This initiative forms part of the Regional Off-Grid Electricity Access Project, ROGIAP, which seeks to promote the development of regional markets for stand-alone solar energy systems. ROGIAP is funded by the World Bank with additional support from the Clean Technology Fund CTF and Directorate General of International Cooperation DGIS of the Government of the Netherlands. El Haji Sailar, senior advisor at the ECOWAS Commission's ROGIAP, disclosed this during a 3-day entrepreneurship business training held in Lagos, organized in collaboration with EcoBank. He noted that Nigerians SMEs have already benefited from grants totaling $800,000 under the project aimed at increasing participation in the off-grid solar energy value chain. On the foreign scene, the Saudi Arabia Ministry of Interior has announced penalties for individuals who violate regulations requiring a permit to perform Hajj for those who facilitate such violations. According to the Saudi press agency SPA, the ministry says the following penalties will begin from Dhu Qa'dah 1 until the end of Dhu Hajj 14. The ministry said fine of up to SAR 20,000, which is equivalent to $5,332 will be imposed on individuals attempting to perform Hajj without permit and visitors trying to enter or stay in Mecca during this period. The second fine is that SAR 100,000, which is equivalent to $26,601.00 will be imposed on anyone who applies for a visa for an individual who has performed or attempted to perform Hajj without a permit, or who has entered or stayed in Mecca city and the holy site during the specified period. Flights are suspended at Israel's Ben Gurion Airport after a missile launch from Yemen has hit near its vicinity, causing damage. Strip's government media office says at least 57 Palestinians have starved to death under Israel's total blockade as trucks carrying food, water and medicine are piling up at the borders of Gaza. Israel's attack across Gaza sinks down on Saturday have killed 45 Palestinians, including 3 babies. And in sports, Liverpool vice captain Trent Alexander-Arnold has confirmed he will leave the club at the end of the season, bringing an emotional 20 years association with his boyhood team to an end. In a statement via X, Alexander-Arnold described the decision as the most difficult of his life. The 26-year-old, who progressed through Liverpool's academy to become a central figure in the first team, said he had remained silent until now to stay focused on the club's pursuit for a historic 20-league title. Ruben Amorim has warned his Manchester United players that they have a big responsibility to salvage a dismal season by winning the Europa League. United warmed up for their Europa League semi-final second leg against Athletic Bilbao by suffering yet another Premier League defeat at Brentford. Amorim's side slumped to a 4-3 loss that left them languishing in 15th place and in danger of the worst final position since they were relegated in 1973 to 1974. United winless run in the league ended to 6 matches as they trailed 4-1 against Brentford before late goals from Alejandro Garnacho and Amad Diallo restored to a little pride for the Lockstride visitors. Nigerian's Premier Football League (NPFL) New Boys and High Flyers Ikorodu City have reached the semi-finals of the 2025 President Federation Cup following a hard-fought 1-0 win over Wiki Tourists in Abuja. The NPFL side secured their berth in the Final Four with 10 men scoring only goal of that game, courtesy of Shola Adelani's second-half penalty. Nuruddin Aweroro's side had Leonard Ngige sent off after the hour's mark. Both the Lagos side held and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now showing on your screen using at Global TV NG. You can download the Global TV Nigerian app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcasts. I am Godwin Sunday. Thank you for watching.